I'm on a personal journey to play through the entire main series of Resident Evil, and though I technically started by playing the remake of Part 4 because I wanted to rekindle those teenage memories of playing the original 4, but after I finally beat that, I went back to the very first game in the franchise to start fresh. I went with the remake version since it's what most people recommend, and through all of the fear, anger, frustration, and confusion, I came out of it being more than a little impressed. The premise is beautifully simple. A tactical team called STARS is sent out to investigate a prior missing team and strange activity in the area when they are immediately met with and chased down by some kind of pack of mutated dogs, which lead them to this giant mansion in the middle of the woods. Trapped inside, the team splits up to investigate the area, leading them to slowly uncover the dark secrets of the strange and monstrous experiments that have been taking place here. Not the least of which are the people that have been turned into flesh-eating zombies. You can choose to play between two characters, Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine, and of course, I went with Best Girl Jill. So yes, technically I have not played and beat the game with Chris, so technically it's unfinished, but I will probably try it with Chris at another point, but I have a lot of sequels ahead of me that I am eagerly excited to get to. But what I loved about the experience of the first game is just how much this is basically a haunted house story. It's all about the mood and the atmosphere and that fear of the unknown. Not just what could be lurking around every corner, and there are plenty of things lurking around every corner, but also just having your characters at this massive disadvantage to the situation. We don't know where the monsters are coming from or what exactly they can do, why the mansion is built like some kind of gigantic death trap, and what horrors are awaiting in its surrounding areas and within the laboratories below. This would be the perfect game to play on Halloween night, having the foreboding music playing in the background as you stealthily make it to the next area of uncertain danger, knowing that your likelihood of dying is at an all-time high. It's got this mood to it that I think few games are able to truly capture, where your imagination runs wild, just wondering about all of the different strange activities that could be happening here behind every single closed door. The biggest adjustment to me playing this game is that I traditionally enjoy more action-based game, kind of like hack and slash and that sort of stuff. And although you do fight plenty of monsters here, Resident Evil is much more about solving mysteries than just blasting your way through the enemies. Half of the doors are locked, so you need to go find keys. To find the keys, you need to explore as much as you can of the mansion. While also exploring, you have to solve different puzzles, and solving them requires some deep thought at times, and often you'll need to travel somewhere else before directly being able to solve it in that room. You need to find different items, and to find those items, you have to find other items, and then you get cryptic clues that lead you into the right direction, but the game doesn't give you explicit objectives along the way, so you really are left to your own devices trying to figure all of this out. Which I admit was very frustrating for me at first. I do prefer to know what I'm supposed to be doing, or at least have some kind of objective, but then I remember this is just kind of how games were back when the original would have came out, and this game was kind of revolutionary for doing things a little bit differently, and I definitely grew to appreciate that. You just have to explore and figure it out along the way. And every time you discover something, you think, oh, that's what that item was for, or oh, that's what I need to be in this room for. And those moments are indisposable. It also keeps you on the edge of your seat because you can't just save whenever you want to. You have to make it to a save room and also have enough ink ribbon to be able to do it. So it will really make you think very hard about when the best time to save is, because a save is your only checkpoint. And if you die, you go all the way back to whenever the last time you saved was. And if you forgot to save, you go back to the beginning of the game. And I died a lot. There's also the fixed camera angles that add to the tension and terror because it's nearly impossible to see what's going to be coming at you and you can't really prepare for it. You need to be able to react quick, and when you can't see around a corner but you can hear the moans of a zombie somewhere close but you don't know its direction, it definitely gets you freaked out a number of times. But I also grew to love the camera angles. I grew to love not knowing what to expect or when the angle would change, and it makes it feel kind of like a cinematic experience too. And if the goal of the game is also to be scary, well, it's scary when you can't see what's coming. And with that, there was also always this feeling of victory when I finally found the item I was looking for or got to a save point after doing something extremely difficult. You really do earn all of your wins here, and the more familiar you get with the mansion, the more fun it becomes because you'll know exactly where you need to go, but the question is, can you get there before something kills you? The enemies here are also great. I like the simplicity of most of them being just standard zombies. The Resident Evil franchise can get kind of crazy with its villains, so I like the simplicity of the original here. And since you're limited in your resources and in your ammo, the zombies actually feel like a major threat rather than just being able to blast your way through hordes of them. In this game, even 2 zombies at once in the wrong hallway at the wrong time can be a death sentence. But there are also other monsters too, many in the form of giant creatures like spiders and snakes and plants. Oh yeah, trying to mix that concoction to kill the giant plant kind of got me feeling like Walter White making the perfect meth batch. But the enemies towards the later half of the game get freaky as all fuck, like Lisa Trevor, who is this deformed, mutated girl after being experimented on with an infantile attitude and wearing the skin of her victims' faces that were people posing as her parents or something. I don't know. She's freaky as fuck. And of course, there's the gigantic hulking final boss of the Tyrant, which was also pretty awesome. But I think having these few big enemies work really well in that it's not overdone. And since just a simple zombie already feels pretty terrifying here, when the bigger monsters do step in, it's enough to make you want to pee your pants. And as I began to get deeper into the game, I couldn't help but feel this odd sense of comfort with the mansion too. I don't know how to explain it. It's like every time you have to leave the mansion to go outside in the surrounding areas or to the residence or in some kind of laboratory with sharks, I was always happy to get back to the mansion. Something about this big open area of the main entrance and the dead silence of it, yet knowing that it's filled with unspeakable horrors, just creates the perfect atmosphere for a horror lover like myself. Despite the frustrations I had with it, at the core, this is a brilliant haunted house game that launched a mega franchise and is a classic for a reason. It goes crazy enough without going off the rails, and it maintains a steady, constantly rising sense of tension and discovery that definitely makes it one of the best to ever do it in this genre. My overall opinion, the next time you have a stormy evening, on a night of a full moon maybe, go ahead and immerse yourself into some classic horror from gaming history. There really is no better option than the original Resident Evil.
That was a close one. A second late, you would have fit nicely into a sandwich.